Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all already know who this is. This is Ron the freaking Don. Now, today, I want to speak more about the Harris campaign pick for Vice President Tim Waltz. And as I stated in my last video, he has some relatively good policies as far as legalizing marijuana, as far as having free breakfast and school and lunch for school kids, and having low income and having free college tuition for low income students out in Minnesota. Those are relatively good policies, as I stated. But now, on the contrary, just like every other politician, he also has some bad policies. Policies such as giving free driver's license to illegal immigrants. Doing that, you enabling illegal immigrants to commit more crime, to just do whatever they want and get away with it, and giving them a get out of jail free card. They could commit a crime and just drive off. So that's definitely not good policy. That's probably worse than bail reform. So, yeah, and another bad policy when he also had the most stringent lockdowns in the country. When he had a snitch hotline where people can report on their neighbors for not following the mandates. And also his delayed response in calling the National Guard during the BLM and George Floyd riots in 2020. However, it was praised. His response was praised by Trump. I don't know why, but it was. But it's on record that it was. Don't know how true it is, but that's according to the media. So those are one of the bad things. But however, since it's on record now, the Harris campaign can refute the claims, can refute the criticisms of how Tim Waltz dealt with the George Floyd and BLM riots by saying Trump commended me on that. Trump agreed with him on his response to the National Guard and letting the city burn down. He said Trump agreed with it. So now he can refute those claims now, that criticism with that statement about Trump agreeing with him and commending him on it. So, but despite, and also, we also have JD Vance tearing into his military record about his ranks in the military. And it was listed that he was a Commander Sgt, but after some interviews with Army veterans or military veterans, it said that he was a Master Sgt. So now he, like Tim Waltz, he's definitely going to have to do more media interviews to refute JD Vance claims, to refute that criticism of that, and of JD Vance claims, and as well as the criticism from the military vets as well. So Tim Waltz gonna have to do a lot more appearances and interviews, media interviews, and deal with the media to refute all the criticisms. However, I don't think he's going to have a hard time doing that. And matter of fact, that would be a good idea for the Harris campaign to do so, to let Tim Waltz deal with the media interviews. That's a better idea because he's a much better orator and a much more of a skilled politician than Kamala Harris will ever be. So it's a good idea to let him deal with it. And especially after that claim she made today about the Palestine protesters, the supporters of Palestine, saying, "Oh, you could go vote for Trump." Especially after that outburst she had today, the Harris campaign is going to have to give the campaign over to Tim Waltz. So if I was the Harris campaign, I would just throw a Hail Mary, give it to Tim Waltz, and let the Harris campaign lean into the economic issues and into the economic issues in Tim Waltz's record as governor of Minnesota. He's gonna have to lean into the economic issues such as paid family leave, him passing paid family leave out in Minnesota, him legalizing marijuana, him passing some Minnesota Care. Yeah, Minnesota Care out in the state of Minnesota, into the infrastructure investments he has there, and the abortion, the no restrictions on abortion law out in Minnesota as well. So, as well as the free college tuition for low-income students, he's gonna have to lean into those records and campaign on those issues. The Harris campaign should lean more into the economic issues and let him hone in on that. Let him talk about his record and focus on his record, instead of the campaign being about race and gender. At least if they want to win. Well, who knows if the Democrats is even trying to win or not, whatever. But if I was the Harris campaign, I'll let Tim Waltz carry the campaign to victory, the same way how Allen Iverson carried the Philadelphia 76ers to the NBA Finals back in 2001, even though he lost. So same concept. Let Tim Waltz carry the Harris campaign if they want a chance at winning. But who knows? Democrats, they're not too smart these days. They don't make good decisions these days, and they have terrible judgment these days, or whatever, because they want to pander to the extremists on the left, on the far left. So that's why they didn't choose Josh Shapiro. But anyway, like I said in the last video, with the addition of Tim Waltz, if they want to move the needle with Tim Waltz, they're going to have to focus more on economic issues, on the legislation that he passed as governor of Minnesota, if they want a chance to win, or whatever. And also too, you're gonna have to refute the army. He's gonna have to refute the army, his critiques on his military record as well, because the Trump campaign is gonna bring up Afghanistan, because that was the most disastrous withdrawal in American history. I agree with Trump on that. It was the most disastrous withdrawal in American history, and they're going to conflate that with his military record, with Walt's military record and his rank, and then also in the fact of him retiring right before he was supposed to get deployed to combat in Iraq in 2006. He trained with his military partners to prepare for deployment in Iraq in 2006, and he retired right before. He retired right before he went right before he was supposed to go deploy to Iraq. So the Trump campaign is going to conflate that with the withdrawal from Afghanistan. So, yeah, so that's my 2 cents. Tim Waltz has a lot of work to do if they want a chance at winning the election. He has a lot of work to do, and he's going to have to carry that campaign and let Harris, and keep Harris in the basement the same way they did the Biden back in 2020. Let Tim Waltz do all the work, because he's a much more skilled politician than Harris is. But anyway, that's my 2 cents. And if you like this video, hit like, subscribe, and I will catch you on my next video in regards to more information and news on the campaign trail. All right? I'll catch you on my next video. Peace.